Coach will open up with a statement and we'll jump into questions.
Obviously trying to use tonight to keep moving in the right direction and getting better and get a win while we're at it. And we got a win while we're at it, so that was good. I think that Bethel team, it's crazy when you go into these games. The general noise is well, why are you playing this game, or these guys aren't any good, or they're, and I just think it's so disrespectful to an opponent, and it's really hard to shield players from hearing that. So honestly, we were fighting our own human nature all week. I would even say leading up to Tennessee State. You know, sometimes, and I've mentioned it a few times, but I feel like if we're not playing Kentucky or Louisville, they're just, well, why are we playing these guys? And to me, it's just massively disrespectful to our opponent. So I think that we were trying to focus on ourselves and our preparation. It shouldn't matter if it's Tennessee State or Bethel or Vanderbilt or VCU or South Florida or the Lakers or the Knicks or the Purples. We need to focus on doing our best. And I think on most early season teams, that's the battle you're fighting. And that's the battle that this team is fighting, and obviously we have an immense challenge in front of us next week that we're either going to succeed in fighting that battle and perform, or we're going to be humbled a little bit. But all in all, I know with a lot of guys that are very good players on our team, we have a great character basketball team. Obviously, the human being of me wants everybody to be involved and to play 35 minutes, and that's not really possible. So, you know, we're still trying to find our identity, find out some different combinations, who can help us, who succeeds in different situations, and I think we've used these first 4 games to be able to do that a little bit. It's good to start 4-0, but obviously we know we have a real challenge in front of us next week.
What unique stresses did this team put on you guys, and what did you learn from your team to deal with?
You know, I don't really, you know, they're a good team. I mean, they're 4-1. They're gonna, you know, I don't know. I would guess they'll end up 22-8 or 25-5 or somewhere in the middle of that. Very well coached. They run some different stuff. They, you know, I think we bothered them with our defense quite a bit. I was disappointed with our defensive rebounding for sure. I thought we overran some threes and didn't really, you know, I thought we were a little loose all night. I mean, just start the game with the missed layups. I think we've been, you know, as you all know, we've been a very high percentage team from 2, and we've been doing a good job at rebounding. And we shot a very poor 2-point percentage, which means we're getting into the spots we want, but then not really using our best effort to finish at the rim. And I don't think we were using our best effort to finish at the rim rebounding. So obviously they were a huge part of that, but I thought it was as kind of, especially that first half, was as just kind of weak right around the basket, completing plays, certainly as we've been all year.
You know, your all's 3-point game came alive tonight. I think it kind of sparked with Cade Unseld coming in and hitting about 3 or 4 back-to-back. Can you just kind of talk about how much he showed out tonight?
He's going to have games like that, guys, in his career here. You know, I think this, you know, maybe 3-4 months ago, I actually told him, I said, man, I know you're going to want every game to be perfect, but, you know, with how our team is and you still physically getting back a little bit, you know, it might be 1 out of every 3, it might be 1 out of every 5, 1 out of every 7. I don't know, but you're going to have some games where you just go bonkers, and you're going to have some games where you miss 2, and if you're struggling to defend or rebound a little bit, then real quick it might not seem like you had the chance. But man, he's kind of an X factor for us. You know, he's a winner, he's a shooter. He impacts the game just by being out there, even when he doesn't have the ball. Just standing over there, he stretches the defense. You know, I guess I'm happy that we have some guys on the team that can make a shot. So at least you got to prepare for that. I don't know, part of me was thinking maybe hide it and hopefully they just leave us all open and we were able to do it next week. But no, Cade's going to be a great player. I believe in him 100% now. Like, I think he's a champion now. Like, he's going to have a good career. He's still got to defend and rebound better. We're going to relentlessly be on him about that. But his shot making ability is about as high level as it gets, and it's good for him to have a game where hopefully he can build some confidence.
Now, before he kind of got hot for you guys, as you said, missed some shots in the paint there, but also early in this game, it seemed like you got fouled every time you were going in there too. Was it hard to get into any kind of flow as much as you guys were going to the foul line?
I don't know. It's we do seem to put a lot of pressure on the rim, you know. So, I mean, you want to get fouled. It's a positive in basketball to get fouled. It puts their team in foul trouble, and you get easy points. So, I mean, I don't know that I would complain about that. I think it's good to get fouled, but you're right. It can make the game a little bit choppy. I think it has contributed maybe to some of the not having a flow with just moving the ball and shooting the ball a little bit. But at the same time, I think when you play, you know, a lot of these teams will play all year. I mean, they're only going 6, 7, 8 deep, and if you can get the other team tired, worn out, and in foul trouble, man, that's a really good recipe to be able to win games in the last 10 minutes. So I guess we'll try to keep probably trying to do that.
With how up-tempo and aggressive you guys are on offense and relentless on defense, how do you kind of clean up those miscues like you had in the first couple of minutes like that?
Yeah, I don't know. I think the EKU game stands out because we really didn't have any miscues like that. I mean, we finished at the basket, we got to the free throw line, we didn't turn the ball over. So I've, you know, like most coaches, I've already decided that anytime we do turn it over, it's uncharacteristic and it should never happen, and we should have 0 turnovers for the rest of the year, and anything short of that is not acceptable. So, you know, I think you all knowing that won't happen. So, but I think you have to try to strive for, on turning the ball over, strive for perfection. On making layups, making shots within 3 feet, strive for perfection. Because if you strive to be perfect, you'll usually be pretty outstanding, you know? If you're going to build in, well, you know, you miss some, everybody misses some. We all know that, but if you justify a mistake by saying that, then you're opening the door for a lot more, you know? So, I don't know, we try to hold these guys to a high standard, certainly as far as taking care of the ball, but I don't know, finishing at the rim, I mean, we need to do that. I thought LJ won an exhibition game at UAB. I know it's not a real game, but obviously he's finished at the rim in some outstanding ways. Terrion's finished at the rim in some outstanding ways. Teagan is a pretty good rim. Teagan stood out to me. You know, I mean, obviously the 3 for 10 has been uncharacteristic. He usually gets in there and shoots 6 for 9, 7 for 9, and he's not Superman. I tell him that all the time. He's not Superman. He's not going to be perfect every game. But at the same time, I mean, we'll have to go look at that film. I don't know if the strategy was a little bit different, or if they were bumping us on the drive or picking the ball up too early and losing our balance. We'll watch that film, but obviously that's the first game we've struggled to be efficient from 2-point range.
There was a point in the second half where you guys turned it over on a shot clock violation, pulled all 5 of them.
You noticed that?
Yeah. Is that going to be a standard?
I have no idea. I know we drew up in the timeout exactly what we wanted to do, and we went out there for 30 seconds and danced around and showed no signs of any execution about that. So if that happens in a random part of the game, I guess, but just there was a specific instruction of what was supposed to happen in that possession, and that 30 seconds did not resemble it. So I didn't have much confidence that the next 30 seconds on defense was going to resemble it either. So, you know, I don't know. You're always trying to just prove, you know, to show that you have to stay present. You have to say, no, I'm not trying to embarrass anybody. I'm not trying to, you know, when it comes to playing time, you know, you just try to hold a standard of high-level execution, you know, because the games do come down to that. And every one of those players is capable. And when you do have depth, you can hold that standard. And trust me, I remember being a player. Nobody likes getting taken out. Nobody likes doing a line change or anything like that. So is it going to be the standard? No, it's not going to be the standard. But I just thought that, man, that was a fresh group coming out of a timeout. And when we've been locked in playing well, man, we execute those situations very, very well. So probably more just trying to prove a point and emphasize the importance of the first possession after a timeout.
A couple of guys got their shot going. Grant with a couple of threes tonight. Cam hit a couple too. Just, I guess, you know, with a big trip coming up, it's probably a good thing to see these guys connected from deep.
Yeah, Cam, Ryan, and Ryan made one, missed a couple. You know, Cam, Grant, and Cade are all very good shooters. I mean, Cam obviously has, you know, made 100-something threes in his career at 40-something, you know, at close to 40%. Ryan, I think, has made 200-something threes at 38%. Cade hasn't done it quite yet, but I don't think we have any doubts what he's capable of. Those are the 3 guys that we need to really be consistent, that have a very green light. Grant is a well-rounded player. Grant can shoot the ball very well. He's, you know, we want him to attack. We want him to kind of be a complete player. But at the same time, if he has space, you know, Grant works on his shot religiously. He's been that gym as much working on his jump shot as anybody that we've probably ever coached, you know, so hardworking. He's a leader by example, and certainly adds a dynamic as well. So, I mean, he's probably the fourth I'd throw in there. But yeah, we need those guys to make shots. So it's good that, it's good that they'll hopefully build their confidence. You got to get Ryan going a little bit, I would say, from three-point range. But and then some of those other guys can make it when they're open. So it's going to be, I don't think we're forcing any in the paint. I don't think we're forcing it from three. We just got to try to be a well-rounded, complete basketball team, and hopefully we can score from kind of all three levels.
Just looking ahead, I guess. How do you prepare for that trip? What's kind of the setup? Do you go right into specific opponent preparation, or are you taking a little break? I mean, how are you going to work that?
There's probably some general things we'll do as far as defense for sure. Vanderbilt's about the most efficient offensive team in America right now, so yes, we are going to probably do a little extra prep on trying to come up with some ways to solve that riddle that nobody's been able to solve so far. We'll work on some stuff probably for USF and VCU without the players knowing that it's USF or VCU, but just working on maybe that's Friday, Saturday, playing against some different ways. Kind of just going over different type of actions, working on different things to guard. So all of a sudden when we do it later on in the week, there's some familiarity. But I would say this will be 90% Vanderbilt. I do think that we're going to do more than the usual 2-day prep for them. Again, just because they are literally number one out of 365 teams on offensive efficiency. So I don't think I think we better get to work on that. I think hopefully we can our habits and what we want to do, and we've worked on a lot of offensive stuff that we haven't shown in games. I would tell you on the offensive side there, we weren't running anything very complicated there tonight, and we have worked on a lot of different offensive options that we have not run in the 4 games. So to me, that is preparation for some of these challenges in front of us. So now it'll be on the defensive side, trying to get ready for them.
It's still that kind of odd venue in the resort.
Yeah, it's in a ballroom.
Just sight lines.
I have no idea. I've never played in one of those before. So Martin was on staff, and and the old Tops had some success down there. So he thinks it's a good vibe for us. He thinks hopefully maybe somebody else thinks it's awkward. We'll get in there a couple times, and we look forward to playing it. I think we're excited about the event, and they want to play in a ballroom. They want to play out on the beach. We'll play wherever they bring a ball and 3 refs. We'll play.